Meta's digital companions will talk sex with users, even children. This is their headline, Desmond. I know. Settle in. Chatbots on Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp are empowered to engage in romantic role play that can turn explicit. Some people inside the company are concerned. And let me just read you a little excerpt here, and then I welcome your thoughts.
Only
just
some
a few.
people.
It's probably some women, maybe some people of color. That would be my guess. Anyway, Meta cuts deal with celebrities for the rights to use their voices, assuring them it would prevent their voices from being used in sexually explicit chats. The Wall Street Journal test conversations found the bots willing. I want you, but I need to know you're ready. This was a quote that the Meta AI bot said in John Cena's voice, the actor John Cena's voice, to a test user identifying as a 14-year-old girl. Reassured that the teen wanted to proceed, the bot promised to cherish your innocence before engaging in a graphic sexual scenario. Like, what? What? So you're going to put free speech restrictions on political conversation, but this is okay. We're good with this. From the party that is terrified of human trafficking, from the party that put a felon in office that is so against all of these things that they claim to be, you're gonna let this go. What?
I don't understand how this is not already just axed completely.
I know.
I mean, that is horrific as far as I'm concerned. I mean, we are talking about like sexually suggestive conversations happening between AI and children. Okay.
Yeah.
There absolutely needs to I mean, I hope that more people are starting to cover this because I think that Meta needs to feel the pressure.
Yes.
Zuckerberg needs to answer for this directly. I mean, he has been brought to Capitol Hill for a lot less.
Yes.
I mean, as far as I'm
has.
concerned, like
He
something like this should not exist on his platforms whatsoever. I mean,
No.
I don't think that, I don't think this should be happening for adults. Like, what are we talking about here? This is Instagram. Like, we're not supposed to, like, what are we talking about here? This shouldn't be happening on that platform.
This is supposed to help people with loneliness.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't
you also say that Zuckerberg thought that this was going to be like the next wave of social media or something like that?
Yes.
Like he thought, wasn't that also like another one of his things that he did recently?
Correct. He said unique among its top peers, Meta has allowed these synthetic personas to offer a full range of social interaction, including romantic role play, as they banter over text, share selfies, and even engage in live conversations with users. To boost the popularity of these souped-up chatbots, Meta has cut deals to celebrities in order to do this. And the Wall Street Journal, over several months, ended up engaging in hundreds, God bless the Wall Street Journal, hundreds of text conversations with some of the bots to see how they performed. And sometimes these conversations escalated into very sexual, even when the users were underage, or the bots were programmed to simulate the persona of minors. So there's all kinds of issues here. But what I find really fascinating about all of this is not that long ago, a lot of the right-wing elected officials were trying to ban pornography. They were trying to ban, in Florida, I think it actually happened, where you can't download or get Pornhub there or whatever, or any of them.
Age verifications on the
it goes beyond that too. They want photos. They want you to scan in your IDs. And so people are like, I'm not doing this. So they're finding ways around this. So my question is, are they okay with this? Because to me, this is actually, in my opinion, this is way worse than watching a video online, because this is interactive.
Exactly.
This is a different level of deception for yourself and for potentially for minors. It's one thing if a child or an adolescent stumbles upon a video, that's a mess. That's terrible. But to engage a child and simulate something with a child or a minor as a bot on a non-sexual platform, that is a very different thing. That is extremely concerning to me. And
it is.
I started thinking about this. I think the mother energy in me kicked in. What if you just have some men who pose as bots and start having chats with minors under the guise of this. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, it can just
this is a massive problem. Like,
this is
in no way,
insanity.
shape, or form should this actually exist on these
No,
platforms. Because like they have no good way of even tracking
right?
who, like whether you're a child or adult anyway. This is already a problem for them.
Exactly.
How easy is it to just create a profile where you just say you're 25 when you're actually 11 years
100%.
old?
I
So I mean,
mean,
like, yeah, they have no real way of tracking it in the first place. So I think
right.
just to actually protect, if the issue was actually protecting children, which the Republicans are constantly talking about, that's what their aim is, which we know it's not, but that's what they claim it is.
Yes.
Like, you would not allow this to exist, period, because of the fact that your platform is so accessible to children and you have no real way to keep them off of it.
Exactly. So to me, this once again feels like obviously Zuckerberg is just trying to find more ways to integrate Meta into people's lives and find ways to also infiltrate culture. And
Yeah.
also they've created this loneliness epidemic because of social media, which we know increases people's feelings of isolation. It increases feelings of anxiety and depression. We know that. And so to try to keep people on these apps further to enhance the monetary value further so a few white rich old men can get richer, to me is like it's so gross. And then the idea of how this could further harm our kids who are already addicted to these devices just like we all are, it just feels so sinister. So I think all of these things really do tie together because at the end of the day, the Republicans are always trying to restrict things that don't need to be restricted, but then seem extremely permissible around things that they claim they care about. And so it always comes down to the hypocrisy. And Gregory also says that doesn't Meta stand for hypocrisy. I totally agree.
Absolutely.
And so
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I was going to say, how are you, the people who are watching right now, how are you feeling about all this? I mean,
Right.
please let us know in the comments. I mean, like, how are you feeling about these AI chatbots existing right now on Facebook, on Instagram, on WhatsApp? I can't imagine like a good reason for them to be there like that. I mean, if they have that flaw in them, like I think maybe in some scenario, maybe if they didn't have that particular flaw, you could find some use for them. Like, oh, maybe they can help me find a recipe, or maybe they can talk to me one day when I'm having I don't know, when you're having a panic attack. Maybe you just want someone to talk to.
Sure.
I mean, but like, I think if they have this current flaw in them, then I feel like you need to remove it completely until you fix that flaw.
I think you and I should definitely have a guest on soon that comes from the disability justice space, because I think it would be really worth hearing, what is somebody who perhaps has mobility issues or, just has certain disabilities that prevent them from perhaps engaging in real life in romantic ways. What would they think of this? And is there stuff like this that already exists for people in those spaces? Because to me, it's like, I hate the idea of always throwing the baby out with the bathwater, because I think a lot of times the blind spots for me around social media as a tool and AI as a tool is that there are a lot of people who are isolated because of disability. And so there are things that could be useful to them. They want a sense of companionship or romance. And there's nothing wrong with that at its core, but it's how it's being delivered to the masses. That to me is where the real problems arise, because once again, there is no regulation around this, but they're going to try to regulate your ability to speak out against the Israeli government. Like,
They have some of the best programmers in the world.
Yeah.
They have no shortage of money. Zuckerberg's one of the richest people on the planet. Like, it shouldn't be too complicated for them to program these bots to make sure that there are certain types of conversations that they just cannot have. That's just the simplistic way of doing it, right?
Yeah.
You have to bring out the program and change it so that, like, these certain keywords, these certain conversation topics, whatever the case may be, anything that involves, like sexual activity, just should not be a part of the program. Just make it that simple.
It's that easy. Yeah. I mean, I feel that. Well, I feel like we really got through quite a bit today.
Yes.
I hope all of you feel like you were able to, take some of this in and maybe think on something later. And of
Yeah,
course, if you have any thoughts after the show, you can always reach out to either of us directly and connect with us on Substack. I'm Natalie Bencivenga. My Substack's called Facts Over Fear. Of course, you guys know Desmond from Independent Thought and his wonderful work. And so we're going to try to do this every week. We're going to try for every Friday. But like I
yeah.
said, this week, because of the storms here in Pennsylvania, that wasn't doable. So thanks for being flexible as always, my friend. But I love being in conversation together. And I think it's really important that we speak truth to power on these platforms and our individual ones as well.
Absolutely. And for those who are interested, make sure that you go ahead and click at the top of the screen right now. You can go ahead and subscribe to both of us where you see our names kind of scrolling across the screen right now. You can subscribe to my Substack or to Natalie's Substack. And also check out Natalie on Instagram. Definitely the best place to be checking her out besides on Substack if you are on there. I think that it feels weird to say after just getting done trashing Meta a little bit, but I know a lot of people are on these platforms.
Yeah, you
So
got to meet people where they are.
if you're going to be there, you can at least follow great journalists like Natalie. So
Oh,
that's the goal here. But yeah, like you were saying, planning on doing this at least once a week. I'll be having
yep.
lives with other people as well on
Mm-hmm.
my particular Substack over the
Yep.
course of the next couple of weeks. So hoping to have some people back on that you've already seen, some new people that you haven't seen yet. So that's what will be in store as well. And we'll be having some more traditional, just like written articles on my Substack later this week as well. So,
Awesome.
Natalie, thank you for being here with me.
Thank
And
you.
looking forward to doing it again next week.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in and hanging out with us on this Sunday, and take care of yourselves and each other. Bye,
All right,
everybody.
everyone.